Hi, Aries. All right, welcome to the space, Aries. It's funny, you and Scorpio, both the Mars energy, get like little cute voices. I hope you're doing good. How are you? I feel like you and Cancer and Sagittarius of Capricorn all been going through a lot this past year, right? Lots of changes and working through things, and I want to thank you, okay, for keeping your head on your shoulders even when things felt confusing, okay? And I see that you've worked your way, or you will be working your way out of that too, depending where you are, okay? The intention of this reading is, I actually dreamt about it last night, is to strengthen your spirit, okay? And to open up your heart. So that is my intention with this reading. Before we jump into your cards also, Aries, was thinking, well, there's two things. One is, all the Aries I've ever met, which have been more females than males, but there have been significant males too, Aries in my life, just always so, every single one of them, just so powerful, so strong. And I know that's a lot to kind of carry. Do you know what I mean? It's a big responsibility to be strong. And so I also admire you wherever you have admitted your weakness, or I guess humbled yourself in that way to show how you feel, because that's a big lesson for you in inner security. Okay. I also heard this sentence, no one does it better. No one does it better. No one does it better Is that a song? Better than you. No one does it better, exclamation point. Okay. Let's open up your cards, Aries. I'll tell you what the cards are. We have Two of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Princess. Okay. Sag had that card. Eight of Cups. Heart of the matter is Six of Pentacles. Sagittarius also had this card. Right in the center, same place. Princess of Cups. Another page. Nine of Wands. Very powerful. It's, Four of Wands and the Hangman. Give me just a second, Aries. Okay, so we have two cups. We have two water, three earth, three wands, and you actually only have one. You have one major, which is the Hangman. Okay, Hangman is Pisces energy. It actually does connect to this Pisces card above it. Interesting. What is the Hangman about? Let's focus in on that, because that's the message from Spirit, right? This is called a major arcana. The rest are minors, right? So there's one major thing and a bunch of other little things, okay? Hangman is about seeing something from a different perspective, right? It is about patience too. I know it can be hard for you. I see any fire energy, it's hard, right? Because the fire's like, well, I have to keep going or my fire will go out, you know? But sometimes being still, what's your alternative view on the situation right now? On the big situation? Some of you, this could have to do with home. It could have to do with family, work, things, these bigger parts of life that make up all the small parts. What's your perspective on that? What do you believe that's possible there? Now, I do see some of this, well, maybe it's kind of like, what do you believe about it? Or would want to believe about it? Interesting. Say emotionally, you know? I'd like to believe that this could happen, or I'd like to believe that we could, or I'd like to believe that I could, or I am able. But I suppose there's a little bit of practicality in, again, that other perspective of it, where, because there's something about trust here too. There's a very powerful energy here. Oh, there's two of them. This goes back to the Three of Wands, which connects back to the three. The Hangman is a 3. There's something about, I want you to take, again, like a wide perspective of what could be. Maybe you want to think about, your opposite Libra also talked about this, where it's kind of like, maybe you want to take a gander between now and your birthday, right? This is Mars to Mars, so this is powerful stuff. Now, in between there's some forward energy, there's some slow down energy, there's some stir the pot energy, right? And then again, we move forward. Good girl, baby. I'll actually share one message of theirs, and I would suggest, because it's your mirror, it could be very helpful. To me, the opposite sign of us is kind of like, at times, can be sort of our subconscious. Or again, like an alternative perspective, like, okay, Aries sees it this way, but Libra sees it that way, right? You see it this way, but the other side of it sees it the other way. If you have any conflicting interests, I'll get back to the message in a second. If there's any conflicting interests, say between, I don't know, you and your partner, or like you and you and others, things like that. Well, what can you learn from a different perspective? And can you find a middle ground, right? Maybe that's something to ask yourself. Not that you're meant to shift your position exactly, but I heard someone say, I see what you're saying. Now, I suppose there are some positions where, like there could be there's kind of a stubborn energy here too. But then I heard me and you. So both energies, both sides are a little stubborn. So let's get back into the practical matter so that it isn't, well, I actually heard so it isn't too emotional. One of the things that, one of the messages that Libra had that I will share with you now as your mirror is over the next 6 months, which is basically now until your birthday, now until April, you know, perhaps it would be wise to go over your financials, like what's coming in, right? What do you have, right? Taurus kind of energy, like what do you have? And how often are you working? Like what are your hours or whatever? Like how much time are you maybe putting in? Just to make yourself perhaps aware of how hard you work, right? Or how much you're doing. This could also give you maybe a little bit, maybe help you to recognize a little bit more about time. I feel like I'm wearing the softest colors for you. It's like so, instead of like red, it's a little different. So anyway, and then see how much, you know, what is the total cost, for instance? What is the total cost of what you need? This includes money and energy. They're kind of the same thing, but you know what I mean? And then I saw that I saw like a collective, like a collection pot. Interesting. If you don't believe something can happen, then it won't. I know that's a little sharp. The belief system matters a lot, right? Sometimes we have to believe that we can, and then we have to, for instance, sometimes believing that you can't can also be helpful, like, but just make sure when choosing that it's done from an because you need a little bit of emotion, right? A little bit of water. Scorpio talked about this, a little bit of water. And then for you, it's more fire and earth. More than anything, fire and earth. So this is a warm place. But again, but you have 2 cups, so it's not too dry, which is good. I feel like it's a nice environment. It's pretty. Some of you live near like really pretty hills, or I also see like there's water. I feel like those of you who live in this winter or live where there's snow, that's a little like emotionally draining a bit. Like I feel like you would gain your power, like you'd have more, I don't know, either some of you need to live by the sea, or you need to at least live in a place that's warmer than not. Interesting. Maybe that's something to think about for some of you, you know? But I wouldn't do anything impulsive right now or that is beyond your means. I guess that's about knowing what you need again, and understanding what you have, right? What do you have of value? This includes financials. This also includes your own and your efforts, right? But this also includes very much your talents. Somebody's talents could actually bring them, I see like a, like a big wave of something to you, but it comes through your effort, right? It's not just from, it's not just like waiting for something to come, right? It's like, no, I'm gonna actually put the effort in, which gives you some kind of gift, right? It makes something more comfortable so you can enjoy yourself more. Someone could be, I see a protective energy here again. Let's see, let's see what that's about. Oh, wow. Okay, so there is a, how do I explain that card? I want to put my hair up when I do that kind of serious. I feel like I need a stronger color. Just a second. I want to feel stronger. Just a minute. When Aries wears red, it's because, well, Aries rules the color red, but you. Okay, if you're ever not feeling strong emotionally, I guess that's kind of when you wear the color red, Aries, or when you need a little bit of extra protection, because what showed up is the devil, which is something that represents either toxicity or fear or something that's negative, really negative. It's scary. It's scary stuff, right? This is a scary dude. Now, does spirit win over this energy? Absolutely. And actually, you have the Nine of Wands here, which to me is like some sort of spiritual protection from it. You also have this other fire. They're both masculine energies that is protecting you whenever you are working through something emotionally. Okay? You have to remember that. I suppose for some of you, this could have to do with something financial. If you have a spouse and you're bickering about money or something like that, like there's some kind of like someone wants to invest in something or like whatever, something along these lines. What's that about? Hierophant. Oh my God. Look at that. There's God in there's spirit and the shadow. Whoa. This is, hold on a second. Remember that you will, whatever you need, Spirit will provide for you. Okay? Whatever you need, it will be provided. Does it take your effort? Yes. Do you have to be logical about it? Like what you can afford, what you are able to exert energetically? Do you need support in that? Yes. But if something's too big and you're just like, what's that about? Ace of Wands. Well, then I guess you want to ask yourself why it's a no if it's a hard no. You know, for instance, is it coming out of fear? If it is, then it has to have that hangman, like different perspective about it. if it's coming out of logic and faith, where you're like, look, this is, you just, if it's not coming out of fear, and again, it's coming out of logic and faith, which I suppose is clear thinking and clear emotion, then don't sway your position. This is almost like in those cartoons where it's like an angel on one shoulder and like the devil on the other shoulder. Like one thing's telling you one thing, one thing's telling you another thing. If you're in that mindset, let's see. Well, I guess you want to know which one's saying what. Do you know what I mean? Which one's saying what, and try to speak as positively as you can about it. Like try to find the support in it, Sometimes we have to wait on things, right? 2 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. This is 9 of Wands. This is Hangman. This is kind of waiting energy. Maybe for some of you it is like there's a timeline here. 4, 6. Well, I heard 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Like, what do we appreciate? Oh, that's another one of your numbers, right? You've had a lot of numbers. 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now it's 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Or what do we appreciate? Oh, I forgot to mention, in the beginning, during your prayer, there was a message about whatever it is that you do, Aries. Like, and this is so many things, right? Like, you're a friend, you're a sister, or a brother, you're a mother, or a father, you're a clerk or a banker or like a therapist or like an arborist, whatever it is that you do, you could even get into little tiny things like doing the dishes and folding your clothes and making your bed and getting dressed, and how you view the world and how you view yourself and what you believe about the future. These are all things that you are doing. And so believe in your power of do. Also, remember, no one does it better. There's a lot of power and wisdom. Like, if you can't see the forest for the trees for some reason, maybe it would be a nice time for you to get some advice, again, from someone who can see a different perspective. Maybe you even want to talk to someone where you're like, hey, I get this going on. And of course, you don't share all your personal information, like, exactly. You're pretty private, right? The details of things, you sort of keep those a little bit private at times. But I think we talked about this more recently, where it's just like, if you have something going on, like, be like, hey, I'm trying to do this, but I really don't know about it, or what have you, or I'm working through this, or I'm working on this. It's just like, talk to somebody who you trust, and connect with someone that you trust and express how you really feel about it, okay? Because maybe for some of you, you can't seem to exactly share that with, you're not going to share this at work, of course, because that's professional. And then this is more like, I feel like this is more private life. But even if it was something professional, say something, I don't know, if that was the case, it would still be something where you're talking about it not in the circumstance or with the people exactly. I mean, you have to do that too, but I feel like there's something you have to separately do with yourself. So that you feel better. Well, I heard, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Right? Interesting. Remember, in ways of creation also, yes, it takes our belief. You have no swords here either. Fascinating. It takes the way we believe about something. Again, the emotional stage of it, expression of it is going to matter a lot. If you flip-flop there, then, it's going to be hard because basically whatever we ask for, we sort of get, right? And it's important to, Sagittarius talks about this a lot, the power of manifestation. It's like, well, if you want something, you better really know that you want it, because you very well could get it. And if you get it, is that something that you really want, right? Will you be satisfied when you get it? But with certain parts of manifestation or creation, you can't really push it, right? Again, I guess that goes into I shall not want. It's like, things will work out in their own time. You have to trust that. But whatever your concerns are, please also express them, right? Because I feel like Gemini's reading will also be helpful, the air energy. Libra and Gemini, what are we talking about here? This is communication with your relationships. This is communication with others. In a loving way about what you're trying to physically do. And I want you to trust yourself, High Priestess and the Six of Wands, okay? Trust yourself in the positive part of it, like what you believe it could all be. And because you're so wise and you've dealt with a lot of battles in your life, okay, then you also need to express that, like, hey, this, I don't, this makes, I feel secure here, but this is concerning to me, because you like to be very independent, you really don't. Right, like you want to hold it all together. It's Capricorn energy here too, which is about building, right? It's about knowing what you have and using that to build what you want. The Six of Pentacles and Four of Wands are both about marriage. Eight of Pentacles, this one row here shows a great commitment to something. It could be like a marriage of something, etc. That's that 4, 6, 8 too. So this is loving relationships with your family. This is appreciating that which came before you, appreciating that which is working really hard to make things happen, where you have worked really hard to make things happen, right? If you don't like where you live for some reason, maybe this is also something you want to think about, again, in a little bit more of a long-term way. You know, again, what would that take, or what do you have, or something like that. This could also be, you know, remember with marriages or with long-term commitments to anything. This could be buying a house, it could be marriage, it could be a career, whatever, going to school, whatever it is. You know, there are times where that feels so awesome, and there's times where there's always changes in that, right? So I also want you to remember, here's Empress, which has shown up for almost everybody during this time. I guess this is opposite of Scorpio energy. It's Taurus. It's Venusian energy, right? Which is beautiful, which again is about love and respect and faith. There's the Emperor and the Empress. Powerful. Super powerful. Huh. These are like two pieces that fit together perfect. But we had to talk about this and work through this to get to that, right? Six of Cups, Ace of Swords, yes. And there's that Three of Wands, which is about looking to the future. Remember, sometimes, Aries, you are such a warrior, right? You can do, again, just about anything. You're really powerful. But you are sometimes equally a worry wart at times. Like you can... you had this reading a long time ago. The title is what's important. It's like, it was called God-Given Gift. Okay? And it talked about how sometimes you get into worst case scenario, and that's okay, because it's good to do that so that you can prepare if it ever was that. It's almost like having to feel that for a second, and then what you do is like best case scenario, and then I would assume that it's probably somewhere in between, right? It's probably somewhere in between. And I want you to know that you have support here. You just ended up with the Two of Cups. People love you. You're beautiful. Sweet. Romantic. Okay, passionate. Such a fighter when you need to be, right? You got such great power. But I guess it's one of those things where... you want to try to lean on the side of positivity, okay? And again, if there's any concern, talk to somebody else who, yeah, a Magician in the Six of Pentacles. Like, talk to somebody else who understands, either maybe they've been in the same position, or maybe it's even someone who just, like, again, has a different perspective. It doesn't mean you're meant to take that perspective and make it yours. It's just helping you to feel a little bit more secure upon the path, okay? No one does it better than you. No one does it better. I guess that would also mean to be open-minded. Yes, Queen of Swords. Be open-minded. Moon, yes. Be open-minded to what the possibilities could be, okay? Yes, Sun, okay? I love you so much, Aries. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being in this life. I hope you have a wonderful now whenever you find this. And I really thank any of you who, where we've found each other in this space. You know, all your hard work and growth and learning in yourself, right? All the healing you've done, all your exchange of energy too is so helpful, right? You know, this includes like even you commenting or just, again, like putting energy into this space to help it grow. Thank you. You know, all the people who, you know, remember, there's a lot of fear in the world. So don't let that also stop you from finding courage or positivity about something. You know, remember again to have like a different perspective. If there's something again that's stopping you, or again, it comes out of fear, just try to know that you will be, that'll balance out. Okay. Or again, to find the other alternative of it, the opposition of it. Okay. Love you so much. Please take care.